Yo, what it do, YouTube? It's your boy Key coming at y'all boys with a brand new video, and today we're gonna go ahead and get into this Lunchly controversy. But let's check it out.
KSI, Mr. Beast, and Logan Paul have announced they were teaming up and launching a new food product called Lunchly to compete with the
Turkey Stack'ems. Is the regular, like the Ritz cracker cheese turkey with the prime drink replaces the Capri Sun, and then the Feastables chocolate bar replaces whatever candy that they would put in there. So so sometimes they put like the Oreo type cookies or a little candy bar. They just put in a full-size candy bar now.
uber popular kids brand Lunchables, and the reception has been less than stellar. Many creators took to social media to criticize the product and the creators themselves. Logan and Jimmy were quick to push back on the critics with their own posts.
Lunchables sells hundreds of millions of units and countless people eat it. Our goal is to give people a better alternative for you. What? How is it? Our turkey meal, for example, is 80 calories less, 60% less sugar, and more electrolytes. We use real cheese. They use cheese product. They can't call it cheese. Higher quality meat, etc. Obviously, eating fresh chicken and broccoli is healthier, but if someone is going to eat a pre-made meal like this, which millions of people do through Lunchables, then I think giving them a higher quality version is roughly at the same price is a net good, in my opinion. And why we launched Lunchly. Also, as we get economic sales, what the fuck? My ass can't read at this moment. Also, as we get economies of scale and can get things cheaper, we will only be improving the product more and more. Crazy how even a sports medicine doctor can't tell the difference between sodium and potassium. The reference 400 milligrams of electrolytes is the potassium in prime, you idiot. So their electrolytes comes from potassium. I'll tell you what happened to YouTubers. We spent our lives creating content and building our brands. Now we want to build businesses. You don't say anything when Lunchables faces bans for allegedly containing lead, but when we create a better version, you're upset, then don't eat it.
And in the process created newsworthy headlines like,
YouTube stars are coming for your kids' lunch. It's a move that has Mr. Beast, Logan Paul, and KSI teaming up to take on Lunchables.
And I usually don't make videos discussing creators' products, but when terms like healthier or better for you get tossed around, I feel it's important to set the record straight. So in the spirit of avoiding personal attacks, let's take a look at the science of Lunchly, including a true issue with their kits I don't think anyone has correctly pointed out yet. For those who may not know, Lunchables are basically these pre-packaged do-it-yourself meal kits. They've usually got things like crackers, deli meats, cheeses, treats, and come with a little drink. Yeah. And since their inception, they've been super popular with kids. However, it's been known, especially by experts, that while these kits are fun and tasty, their nutritional value is just not good. They're often too high in sodium, saturated fat, and added sugars, and don't use healthy whole food ingredients. And because they fall into the category of ultra processed foods, they aren't healthy to consume often, period. Studies actually show that those consuming high amounts of UPFs can have up to 50% higher risk of developing obesity, and some specific UPFs are linked to increases in cancer. I see it even in my clinic. So many of my pediatric patients are over consuming UPFs, and it's becoming a growing problem across the country. Consumer Reports even dedicated a special feature.
I'm surprised, like Lunchables, can't they sue them? Y'all literally stole our product and just changed the name. Like, if I was Lunchables, I would be ready to sue these motherfuckers. And then it's like, y'all didn't even change like Lunchly, Lunchable. Like, bro, y'all didn't do nothing but change the suffix of the word. Like, y'all didn't do nothing to, like, creativity is at 0%. I'm not gonna cap. It's 0% creativity. Are they gonna make some money off of it? Sure. They said they making hundreds of millions of dollars off Prime alone. Of course they're gonna make some money off Lunchly. But it's like, god damn, y'all ain't even try, bro.
Highlighting the problems with Lunchables and why they shouldn't be consumed regularly due to health risks. My own take on Lunchables, I don't recommend parents pack them for their kids on a daily basis. A low quality food with poor nutritional value. But now what about Lunchly? Starting with the first claim, in the press release announcing the product, Logan Paul was quoted as saying Lunchly is a healthier alternative and that it's a better for you lunch option compared to Lunchables. In fact, throughout the Lunchly website and the social media promo posts, you'll see countless comparisons being made to Lunchables.
Okay, let's see. I mean, if this is all true, theoretically, depending on the ingredients, it does look quote unquote healthier, less sugar, less calories, more electrolytes.
To be honest, some of the comparisons are kind of cringe and don't make much sense to me, but maybe that's because I'm not the target demo. Flavorful combos versus standard picks? The meal kit combos are nearly identical to Lunchables. Big gestures versus mid moments? I certainly don't remember that lesson in my nutrition classes. I was more concerned with the nutritional comparisons being made anyway, so if someone was to make a healthy meal kit for kids, I would find that incredibly valuable. And in looking in the comparison, I'd be most interested in calories, which they have, protein, which they have, sugar, which they have, saturated fat, which is missing, and sodium, which is not only missing, but replaced by electrolytes. And unlike all the other macros, is only labeled potassium and only in the prime bottle in the kit. Comparing it.
Oh, okay, hold on. But it's a 5 milligrams of sodium, 400 milligrams of potassium. So it doesn't really have sodium in it though. So, I mean,
the Capri Sun in the Lunchables. This is a pretty weird marketing choice to label electrolytes in food products. It's such a strange choice that it even stunned fellow Dr. Brian Suterer, who tweeted,
"Sodium getting rebranded as electrolytes will be taught in marketing textbooks one day."
And sadly was ashamed to see Logan attack instead of starting a meaningful dialogue with the doctor, given that 400 milligrams is not the amount of electrolytes in Prime, at least in the image that Logan shared. 400 milligrams of potassium plus 5 milligrams of sodium equals 405 milligrams of electrolytes. It's not about nitpicking, it's just about being reasonable and honest to help further the conversation. Look, if I want to decide if a food is right for me, I like to be able to compare the entire electrolyte profile, which would have to include sodium. It's like having a PB&J sandwich label that says what's in the sandwich, you know, protein, fats, calories.
So basically they're just comparing the, so is he saying that they're comparing the potassium in the Lunchable to the potassium in the Prime?
Then the sugar line only tells you what's in the peanut butter as opposed to the jelly in the entire sandwich.
Yeah.
I wanted to go further and do the comparisons myself using the nutrition facts from the Lunchables and Lunchly websites, and it's honestly really hard to draw perfectly clear conclusions for several reasons. One, I don't have nutrition facts for each part of the kits. For example, how many calories come from Feastables versus the food component. Second, some of the portion sizes aren't the same. The turkey cracker kit from Lunchables is 82 grams, while Lunchly's is 72 grams. Three, there are so many varieties of Lunchables that just swapping out the flavor.
I'm not gonna cap. With certain things, bro, like, okay, boom, this is, he said 82 grams to 72 grams. You can still kind of, you know what I'm saying, do a little bit of math and find what it's equal to. But I see what he's saying in this. The
Capri Sun caused significant differences in sugar and calorie content. What I was able to conclude is that Lunchly has less sugar and therefore less calories than Lunchables in comparable kits. That's probably due to the drink component of the kit, as Capri Sun uses sugar and Prime is artificially sweetened. Lunchly has significantly more potassium.
Like, so do you want artificial sweeteners? Because I heard artificial sweeteners are just as bad, bro,
than Lunchables because of the Prime drink, which I guess is good, but not something I'd regularly use in deciding if a food is an ideal lunch for a kid. Lunchly has slightly less sodium and saturated fat than comparable Lunchables. That's definitely moving in the right direction, however, both differences were fairly small. Lunchly does use real cheese as opposed to cheese product, signaling that at least one ingredient is less processed than in Lunchables, but the entirety of the kit is still considered an ultra-processed meal. Lunchly has higher amounts of A and B vitamins, which can be good, but also can be problematic as vitamin A is a fat-soluble vitamin, and kids can easily overconsume it, leading to toxicity. Being that it's fat-soluble means that you can't just urinate excess out. This has actually been raised as an issue by experts with Prime in general. Despite these legitimate upgrades, social media posts are slamming Lunchly for not being perfect. But Lunchly does not need to be perfect to be valuable for kids. It just needs to be significantly healthier in order to reduce risk.
I feel like that's the problem. It's not significantly healthier. And from what it seems like, bro, the majority of the quote unquote health benefits or this, that, and the third that makes it better than said Lunchable just comes from the drink. It has nothing to do with the actual food content.
Doctor, I use risk reduction all the time, essentially taking something harmful and replacing it with something less harmful, but still imperfect. As an example, I would never recommend starting vaping, but getting someone to replace smoking cigarettes with vaping is generally a good step down in terms of health risk. Knowing all that, is it fair to say that Lunchly is healthier? I guess one can say yes, but honestly, probably more so as a marketing tactic. The reason why? Well, let's look at the recently passed nutrition standards set forth by the USDA for school lunches and see how Lunchly compares. Going line by line here. Less than 10% of calories should come from saturated fat. Lunchly turkey, 23% of calories come from saturated fat.
Damn. And when you got somebody who knows what the hell they talking about, this is where the holes in your shit comes in. So it says less than 10%. You have 2.3% more than accepted saturated fat percent from calories.
10% of calories should come from added sugars. Lunchly turkey, 10.4 comes from added sugars. But this is where things get really interesting, and for some reason, no one has pointed this out. You see, USDA caloric guidelines say that a lunch meal for kids K through 8 should contain around 625 calories. Kids need energy to function, and calories give them that energy. Lunchly turkey contains only 230 calories, which would mean a kid would need to eat about 2.7 portions to consume enough calories. And if they did that, they'd get nearly 1,300 milligrams of sodium, which is also significantly over the USDA standards. So they'd be either under eating calories.
Compare it to the Lunchable twin. But I think he said Lunchables was 300 calories, so they would need to eat 2 of those. So if comparing 2 Lunchables to 2.5, or what did he say, 2.7? How many would he? 2.7. Boxes of Lunchly, what is the stats then?
Or overeating sodium. Finally, the grain guidelines state that 80% of lunch meals must be whole grain, and Lunchly turkey does not list any whole grain ingredients. It's clear Lunchly, just like Lunchables, misses the mark too many times to be considered meaningfully healthier, at least in my opinion. That being said, I do think many criticisms pointed at Logan, KSI, and Jimmy are unfair. Attacking them for trying to create a successful influencer product isn't inherently problematic. I just think if a company was truly interested in creating a healthier lunch kit for kids, the USDA standards should be the minimum starting requirements. Otherwise, we're simply propagating the problem even further. One of my hopes is that in navigating the future feedback on this company, the guys hire a health professional to guide them in making messaging more accurate. I just saw someone ask about heavy metal contamination, and Logan responded with a video of an X-ray machine checking for foreign materials. That checks for stray objects accidentally getting into the meals, not heavy metal contaminations like we discussed earlier with Lunchables and lead. And saying a food has more electrolytes, therefore it must be better or healthier, is just not true. Foods with an incredibly high sodium content and electrolyte are not considered particularly healthy. In fact, many are considered unhealthy for that reason. I can't expect non-medical people to get this perfect, but if you're gonna stand by a children's food product being healthy, you need to hold your messaging to a higher standard.
That's a fact.
Eating a diet full of
But I feel like you also gotta realize that they're influencers and they just want to sell more of their respective product. So how can we sell more Prime? We can just bundle it with Mr. Beast and Feastables. And from what I got, for the most part, it is technically a little bit healthier, or it would be better for you to eat the Lunchly instead of the Lunchables. But the one thing that we gotta take a look into is if the 2.7 Lunchlys, how those stats stack up. Because if that's what is supposed to be a real serving, you're giving somebody a third of a serving and calling it healthier than a full serving of something else. That doesn't even make sense. So, gotta do a little bit of research. But with that being said, man, it's your boy Key checking in, checking out. My eyes have been opened up a little bit. There's still some gray areas that we need to go over, but I won't be buying no lunch lease. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Get in that comment box. Tell me how you felt about this video. And with that being said, it's your boy Key checking in, checking out. We gone.